order the Historic Town of Eatonville Regular Council meeting. Mrs. King, will you please verify quorum?
Yes. Councilman Matt? Here. Councilwoman Randolph? Councilman Daniel?
Hello.
Vice Mayor Washington? Mayor Garber?
Here. Please stand for the invocation by Reverend Griffin, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Father God, we thank you once again for another day that you have made and have allowed us to even live and move and have our being in it, even to rejoice and be glad in it. We want to again thank you for this community, Eatonville, that you have placed us in, God, to be community and residents and representatives. We continue to lift up this administration, that you will continue to give them the wisdom and knowledge and understanding to make decisions, God, that will be beneficial and advantageous for this community, that will bring glory to you and good to every resident. We continue to lift up every resident of this community, that you continue to give us the spirit of unanimity, that we will live in harmony with one another, respect each other's personalities as well as properties. We again thank you for everything you're doing in, through, and for this town of Eatonville. We just ask that you would just continue to bless it and keep it and cause your face to shine upon it and be gracious unto it. We ask you to continue to educate us and update us on the state of the welfare of this community. We honor you and we bless you and we praise you again for all things. And we ask you this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
All
Aye. All opposed. All right, the agenda is approved. Citizen participation. I would like to start before you call the name. Ms. Rhonda Thomas is here from Orange County Public Library.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just want to say, thank you for letting me speak for a brief moment. I did hand out, Books and Beyond. It talks about all of the programs of the library, and I'll be working with Mr. Presley to get on the workshop calendar to, share all of the programs and services that the Orange County Library offers to the residents of the town of Eatonville. I also included a program calendar for technology and programs that we have, and we have programs for all ages, including 0 to 64. Like this, the whole gamut. We have programs for everyone. So if anyone has any questions, you can get with me, but I will be meeting with Mr. Presley to get on the agenda.
Thank you.
All right, we have Mr. John Bishop.
Yeah.
I am ready.
Okay, good evening, council members. I'm honored to talk to you again. Right there, about the sacred ground hunger for property. I'd like to ask you guys to maybe put together a task force and look at some of the properties on East Kennedy here that's undeveloped. While we wait on the hunger for property to be developed and decisions to be made, there's a lot of opportunity for some commercial buildings. So if like one of our kids or someone wants to open up a business there, so perhaps you should get into conversation with the churches or whoever the landlord is, see what their intent is, and see if they would like to develop something there. I think we'll have what the impacts, but it may take us 10 years from now to really sell the hunger for property. Just if someone wants to put an office or whatever it may be, we just don't have that space. When you drive across other communities, that space is available. We have that land, and we look at Macedonia and have buildings that haven't been developed yet. So maybe just a brief conversation. And then I want to talk real quickly, just because you never know when the last chance is, but this proposal I put together here, I think everyone has a picture. What this does is prevent homelessness. It also put our kids to work that live in Eatonville. So we often talk about where are our kids and not come back home to work. So what we propose is a hotel here. Why hotel? Because in North Orange County, nowhere in North Orange County, that means from Arlington down, Macon, Winter Park, there's a place to do convention for more than 1,500 people. It's just the maximum space is 600. And that's squeezing it, but the acceptable space is about 300 people. So I go to Disney, Shingle Creek to do that. So we put a new Hungerford school there that teaches culinary skills and hospitality skills. Our kids can leave Edinburgh and live whatever, and they can come back and work in here, because some of these jobs pay up to $100,000 a year. We can cater, and the town get paid off every plate, they get paid off every door that's there. And also, because time is limited, where host time is, so how can we take advantage of where host time is? Let's find corporations, get the partnership for Orlando Economic Partnership, and find corporation headquarters that want to move to Florida and move to Central Florida, and we create this economic hub here. So not only can they bring their employees here in town, they also can stay at this hotel. They can sleep, they can convention space. They don't have to go to International Drive to do that. We have that space here. There's no one in Orange County has this space that we can provide. If you look at Lee Road, the hotel that Bellows put on there, we're packed that capacity. But it goes together. So let's create a main street, like Nashville, whatever we're gonna call it. Let's call it the Joe Clark Day, our founder, Joe Clark Avenue. But we want a chef-inspired restaurant. I already talked to Bobby Flay and Martha Stewart. They're gonna put together cuisine here. We're gonna talk to some people that can put great cuisines, chef-inspired. The vegan store next door, Tommy down the street, chef-inspired restaurant. So when people think about dining, a facility and spending the evening, they want to come spend it in Edenville. Doesn't change our population, it puts people to work, but the affordable housing is not in here. I don't think we're going to make that.
Thank you.
Please, I'm yielding my minutes.
Joyce Albany is yielding her 2 minutes.
And as the Royal Person Museum, talking about amphitheater that can do concerts from like 2,000 people, 3,000 people. Not more than that, because we don't want to really bring a heavy crowd in here, but we can do amphitheater, a Royal Person Museum, if you will, if that museum will go through. But then we can develop all this around culture, heritage, tourism, and the arts. And be that mecca that doesn't change our population, but also be about, if we have one of our kids to go to Edgewood High School or wherever, they can come back home and work now. They got a place, they can manage these hotels. The hotel pays $100,000 a year to manage these places. And they can go to school and maybe get the next chef of America that coming out of our new Hungerford school, if you will, right? And this boulevard here, which when people dine and have a nice evening, they can walk over here. I talked to Blake Shelton, and he's gonna put a baby big bread down here. So that way we can have a bar that can do, a restaurant that can do music of all genres, like jazz. So we can bring that cuisine here. So I can imagine we work with, say, talk with Malin and tourist buses coming here day after day after day, being able to stay and to participate and not change our population. So we don't have to gentrify. But I do believe that Hungerford property, we've been saved by God. That property, I just want to leave it just has been prayed over in 1887. Those former slaves prayed over that property. That land wasn't just given by Hungerford, it was given by town citizens. They donated land and they worked that land and they built their school. So that's what makes this land sacred and holy. It was prayed over by former slaves. And now it's being prayed over by us. We're our stewards. We are the stewards now. The stewardship matters with us. So I believe this might not be the whole answer, but I believe it's a great starting point. If we look at this and not look at Bacon burials only, look at this, because this came from the community conversations. All this came from the community conversation that we had when the Winter Park Health Foundation was here. That lunchroom, cafeteria, 105, it was packed, jam packed. I think with Bruce Thomas on duty. And these are what people wanted. They wanted a gas station. They wanted a grocery store. They wanted all of these things that they encompass on this carpet here, because, and so we tell the story to town people. And that's why it's successful. It's got to be driven by the town people. Thank you very much.
We have no more.
The next item, and I'm gonna, is the consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda? That is something.
Was it item, Ms. King?
I'm sorry,
I thought you said that was it.
what do you ask me?
Was there another citizen participation?
They just gave it to me after
Oh.
you were going on, so it's really a pleasure of the council if you want them to come up. It is, Jerry?
Jenny.
Jenny.
Only if it goes with your flow.
Go here. Hi, my name's Jenny Krieger. Trey Rex is a little embarrassed. I came up speaking. But what'd you say? But I am running for school board for District 6. I taught high school for 10 years, public school, and my boys go to Lake Silver Elementary. And I never had any intentions of running for school board, but I couldn't unsee what I saw. And that 60% of OCPS graduates are not proficient readers. And that is the foundation of our education system. And we have all of these symptoms that are caused by reading failure. And so that is why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. Because our kids matter and we're in dire straits and we can fix it. And so that's why I'm here. Feel free to ask me any questions afterwards or go to my website, vote for Jenny, onei.com. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, consent agenda. Is there a motion? It's been moved, is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed. All right, consent agenda is approved. There are no council decisions and we are ready for reports.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. A couple of things, at the workshop, the Edmonds, ERU system that we're using, our ERP system that we're using is moving along really well. The financial portion of it, the recreation, our reconciliations and adding in journal entries and so forth is coming along very well. I'm hoping to have that, from our finance crew, by the end of the summer. Then the planning portion of that Edmund system will go into effect in the fall. It's really going to line up with the time with impact fees, adoption, and the 90-day period. So we'll have all that pretty much heading in at the same time. The pool is officially open. We had it open this afternoon. So our current coordinator is working on the programmatics and working along with the Boys and Girls Club and our summer programs to make sure it's for the kids during a certain period of time during the morning. And then there'll be open hours for the pool from 2:30 to 6:30. So that's open to the community. We are working on the fee schedule, but we're doing our soft opening right now. And it's free of charge for residential usage. And of course, we'll bring it back before council to finalize any fees that will be associated with, reservations and regular services of the pool. So thank Mr. Washington for doing a really good job. That's Mr. Darius Washington, not Mr. Theo. Mr. Darius Washington doing a great job of leading that project along with our public works department. It was really good. Also, as in regards to other projects, the West Water Tower, if you've taken a look at it lately, has been painted and it has historic Eatonville on it and our logo. We'll do a more formal opening once Ms. Monday gives me the go ahead. I believe they're very close to putting the actual storage back into service after several changes with that. So that'll be coming real near soon. I recently met with Mr. Manning from Holstein, and there are several scopes that he have not put out, which is the landscaping scope and the scope for pavers to proceed for that project. I'm working on some dates and times. If any of our council is interested in doing any walkthroughs, I know I've talked to a few about it. But as I receive those dates of availability to do the walkthroughs, we'll make that available to you all. But also there will be, we'll make an announcement about those that may have landscaping companies or paving or working those areas that may be interested in putting in a bid to do services for that project. Vision Zero is coming along well. We have several things going on, and Miss Valerie and her team's working along with Winter Park and Maitland on safe routes to schools. And basically there's a new path of sidewalks that are being installed along Kennedy all the way down College to Hungerford Elementary. And so there'll be several RFF beacons that will be put up, which will be for crossing at certain intersections, but our public works department is working along with Winter Park and Maitland to get that implemented. So that's coming along. We started our landscape pilot program, just a small section along Kennedy just to get a feel for the look of what we can have as our entry points coming in. Working with a local vendor that's doing the work. And so as that completes, of course, we'll start to put some plans and some metrics into place to finish up the landscaping project for just the current layout of our East Kennedy project area. The post office is undergoing some renovations from the flood that took place during some of the water challenges we had over there. So the painting and interior, exterior will be taking place over the next few weeks, and we'll keep you posted on that. Just want to bring to council's attention, along with services portion, we've had almost 5 different special events within a 10-day period, which means that, staff not only is handling their current workload, but making sure all the provisions from PD to public services, from our public works department, as well as administrative services, to make sure those events have went off well. And I must say the staff have done an exceptional job of making sure that happens. So I want to say thank you to that, but also make sure the council knows we have to have the proper servicing levels to manage that in order to stay efficient in how we operate. But I just wanted to make note of that. Also, I received our monthly report from Orange County Fire and Rescue, who we are under contract with, that does our normal services. This last month, and I receive it every month, but just to give you an idea of what we received from them, we had 71 calls. EMS responded to 64 of them, and it was 7 fire incidents. And there were 52 transports that they did within a monthly period. And I can send you over the documentation if you just like to see what that report looks like, but I receive that every month from them. Also, and I will have a more detailed report on this one I'm about to speak on next, which is the speed bumps. We have done some assessment, and I'm working with several residents that have brought it to our attention that some of these are either not efficient in where their location, or there are some maintenance hazards there. And so we're working to mitigate that along with our public works department. We'll keep you posted on that as we get further information on that. I'm hoping within the next 2 meetings, we'll bring the draft audit before you for both CRA and the town for your review. Budget workshops, projection dates, we're looking at the end of July, a weekend end of July. So we'll get those dates out to you. If there's any particular vacation plans that you all have, you can at least shoot us an email over, so we won't schedule those workshop dates during your vacation time. So please, if you have your summer vacation, if you can send that over to our office, just so we'll know if you are getting some dates off or taken away, so we don't schedule doing that. We also have the solid waste RFP that will be going out this month. I wanted to get a recommendation from council if we're going to possibly have a representative from the council on the actual review committee of that RFP. Mayor, I just want to bring that if you want to have somebody from the council serve on that, but we'll be putting that RFP out this month, and want to know if you'd like to have representation from the council on that, and then they can come back and that one. All right, so if you give us an individual for that. And also we have received the draft of the master planning. We received the information from the National Trust as well as Bank Barrios. And then there's, as you go in the library, there are several notes on the Post Institute and their progress with that. Based off the last report, the numbers has picked up with community involvement, at least attending those meetings. Some of the things you heard tonight that would be perfect to talk about in those master plan meetings, because that's what that information is going to forecast for us in regards to the development within the community. So we do advise community members definitely to get out and be a part of those meetings as they're putting the data together for that. And I believe I've covered all of my major things for that. I believe that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Question. Out of the 71, how many were for the mental place down there?
I would have to do they don't give us a breakdown on that. They just give us the calls. I can get a breakdown on that.
Given the times of the pool, what's the dates?
I'm sorry, it should be in your packages as well, and there will be a going out on the website, but it will be Tuesday through Saturday. It should have been in there, but if not, I'll make sure you get a copy of it. Tuesday through Saturday, and the normal hours for open pool hours is from 2:30 to 6:30.
Who chose those dates?
Recreation.
Attorney Aaron, do you have a report?
No report.
No report. So I'm gonna start off once more. And I want to, the pool grand opening was phenomenal. Thank you for making sure that came off without a hitch. There was a lot of put into that. Tomorrow morning is a leadership breakfast with Macedonia. I'm looking forward to attending. Impact fees, that's a milestone for our town. Just think that extra 1,900, whatever will be over time, had we been collecting, I would have made a big difference with some of the capital improvements that we need in this town. And it's just good governance. In regards to the pool, there are no special event rentals at this time until we get that scheduling done. Okay. All right. Again, thank you, staff. I also wanted to go first because I needed to go over some administrative housekeeping issues. Not a pleasantry, but it does need to be stated in order that we keep order and protocol as the charter allows. If you recall, several months ago, I asked that any time you want to visit or meet with staff, that you go through Mr. Presley, so we keep the order and the protocol. We're straying away from that once more. And with that being the case, and just to alleviate even the seeming bias that I have, there are two things I want to address. One is impromptu visits and consultation sessions. Again, I'm stating that anyone you want to meet with, you go through Mr. Presley to schedule. The other thing, I've asked Mr. Presley to change the codes. Because it's gotten to that point, to change the codes. But it's not to stop anyone from access. You simply need to go through the protocol. That's all that's about. For your mail, we'll make sure that that's still accessible to you, and you'll be given that information at another time. If there's an inquiry for anyone's personnel file or their information in their file, I think it's only right, and I'm going based on me. If someone is continually asking for anything in my personnel file, if by law we have to give that information as public record, then I think it's only right that we let the individual know. Because if someone continually goes to my file, I want to know. If they say, I don't care, I don't want to know, then we won't alert them. But I think that it is a way to provide accountability on both sides. So we'll make certain that any inquiries into the personnel file, if the staff member wants to know, then they can let us know up front if they want to know. If they don't, that's fine. When we ask someone to come to that, or when someone asks to speak at the lectern, we give them 3 minutes. I think that if that's good enough for them, it should be good enough for us. So in our reports, if we can keep our report as close to 3 minutes as possible, then what that does is this. It doesn't make accusations toward me that I'm favoring one over the other, because I'm not. What I try to do is just keep it moving. So if mentally we can say if 3 minutes is good for the citizens, it's good for us. And also on items on the agenda, we should not be doing items for 20 minutes. Now, some items, we're going to be there. But on some of these items, we're saying the same thing over and over again for about 30 minutes. But if we can just stay conscious of people's time. So 7 to 10 minutes on agenda items would be great. And that way we keep the meeting going. And I think that is all. And I want to thank everyone for coming. Vice Mayor.
Madam Chair, I disagree with some of that.
And that's okay. Talk about it.
But the thing is,
Talk about it. It's something.
I don't know, we have people filibustering, in government that they can sit there and talk all night if they want to. But I know it's a time limit that I know what you're looking for. But no, I don't think we should censor our time on people speaking. They need this our elected officials to jump on some items. And that's what it is sometimes. So respect that for what each one of the individuals want to do. I mean, people in order to get sit, we get sit up here, so let them do that. So I disagree with the time limit of 3 minutes or whatever minutes, because If one person at the house or in the house when he spoke for days. They had to sit there or they walked out or whatever. So, no, let's not do that there. But I like to thank everybody for coming out.
Be conscious.
Yeah. And, yeah, people might come to Edenville for events or anything. They love coming here. I've met people at some events, first time here in Edenville, tour they event. So that's what we're supposed to do, bring people to our community. I know how much you give them when they come to go off and eat or stay or whatever. But when they come to events, let them spend their dollars and their time to enjoy. Pool event, Denton Johnson event, anything on Main Street, let them enjoy it. Let's not give them people that want to do things have a hard time to do. You know, but make sure they follow the right protocol, right process to do it. So, I mean, I support anyone that want to live in Angel, especially on the Main Street, because people look at the Main Street when they drive through, because it's when you do a project on the Main Street, people slow down. You don't need traffic control. They're gonna slow down anyway. It's like on an accident, they're rubbernecking, you know. So thank you for coming to Edenville on any of them. And I think that's all I have. That's all. Thank you.
Director Gaines. I'm sorry, Councilman
I
Gaines.
also disagree with the censoring of our reports. I also disagree with not allowing us to, if I heard you right, and I get the minutes to talk to Mr. Presley about meeting with staff. It is our right as legislators to meet with staff, and whatever we ask within reason, they should be able to accommodate it. All of these are just your opinion, and you know, and as such, if we have to get legislation to let us do it, then we'll just put it on the agenda and let this board vote for how we conduct, you know, meeting with staff. Just for the citizens, hurricane season is here. Please take advantage of the tax holiday, which is June 1st through June 14th. Thank you for, saw Mr. Novak here. I was going to bring those up about the speed bumps. Also, thank you for your opinion and your perception of the CBA, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. And that's my report. Have a great day.
Councilman Mack.
Thank you for that. Okay, thank everybody for coming out today, but I totally disagree with everything you stated in terms of how we should meet with staff, we're legislators. We got the opportunity to move the town forward, and we got a job to do. So, and then on top of that, you limited us, well, at least you try, your opinion on limiting us to 3 minutes is atrocious. I definitely don't believe and agree with that. But I guess that'll be something that we'll discuss moving forward. But I just want to go ahead and go to some positive stuff if I can. I just recently had a cleanup day on this past weekend. It was phenomenal. I thank every council member that did have an opportunity to come out. Councilman Daniels, I thank you so much for coming out. Vice Mayor, I thank you for coming out, participating and doing what you did in terms of helping out. And Councilwoman Wanda, thank you so much for coming out and participating in the cleanup effort that we had on this past weekend. And thanks for everybody that came out as a volunteer. Mr. President, your staff did a phenomenal job of coming out and assisting me in every aspect that I can have, man. I'm talking about they was tremendous. I never had to, ask more than once. Everything was tight. And I really appreciate you guys. If you're looking, thank you so much for coming out, helping me out on this past weekend, and all the volunteers too. We had people that don't even live in the community that had a chance to come out and really just take that opportunity to try to help, clean the community, which was touching to me. And I advise, well, moving forward, like I said, I want to have another one after the hurricane season. But anybody that want to volunteer, please, especially the citizens, get involved. Try to help keep your community clean and safe. And also, I know you spoke on the post down. We're looking forward to doing a walkthrough whenever that is, whatever time frame that's going to be. I know we're getting close to finishing up, so we'll definitely like to take the opportunity as a board to go up there and see what's going on. And I would like to also thank my sponsors for my cleanup, the town of Edenville, of course. Even myself, I have to say, I poured a lot of money into this particular project because that's where my heart's at. So it doesn't, you know, it's just something that I want to do, right? And also classic development, thank you so much for being involved and helping me out. J&J Consulting, you guys were fantastic in making sure that I had everything that I needed to make sure that I had a successful cleanup. 3D Tires, Donovan Williams, I can't say enough on how you helped me out with just facilitating and helping me just process everything, man, and just making sure that I had everything that I needed for this particular event. And also, Mark and Crystal, Bertrand, they did a lot with contributing to, my, cleanup efforts also. So thank you guys so much. And these are the same ones that helped me out in all my events. So thank you guys, and hopefully I can get more sponsorship, moving forward. My next question would be for the attorney. Like always, do we have any lawsuits pending against the town? If we do, who is it?
I'm not aware of any new lawsuits, that have been filed recently or anything like that.
So it's the same ones that you
Yes.
had last time? Okay, great. Okay, I know we had, I know I speak with Mr. President right before every meeting. That's why I don't really have a lot of questions during the time that people are doing their, presentation, because I read thoroughly through my, package and making sure that I'm digesting everything. And if I do have any questions, I do, go to Mr. President. That's why I strongly disagree with, the mayor with saying limit our time or what have you to meet with staff members. That's our job. That's my job, as a legislator. So for you to sit here and say limit the amount of time that we see staff is atrocious, and especially with you, speaking on the volume of changing the combination. I don't know who's that reference to, but I have a very fundamental problem with that. But, maybe like I said, we can, speak on this, moving forward. I had to bring it to the, floor for the record because I heard it out of your mouth. So, I don't know exactly where that came from, and I'm definitely not gonna limit my time for them 3 minutes. Instead of being speak on things that's gonna, you know, concern the town. All right, so, but also I wanted to speak on the, and I know we're in the town right now, but you can't have the CRA without time, you can have time without CRA. And I know we're coming up on that, contract date that is gonna expire soon. And I know we spoke about that. I just wanted to put it out there publicly. And we do have, advertisements for job opportunities for anybody that's seeking, you know, job opportunities in the town of Eatonville. Is out for ad. I know a lot of times, people had told me that it was just on the website, but now those things have changed. So anybody that's seeking for a job opportunity in Eatonville, you can look at, the ads. They are available for anybody that's looking. Just want to, make sure everybody know about that. And also, I know we got the 10th and final meeting for the, museum, which is very important. I think it's a very, important thing that we really need to concentrate on because we're not out of the woods. We're not getting it, right? So I think we need to, put together a, bus assignment that's going down there, perhaps on the 18th of June, and, get as many people as possible to go down there and, you know, just, you know, fight for this museum. You know, we need to get people that's gonna represent us well. We need to get people to go down there and, you know, just make noise. We can't sit here and sit on our hands because how we gonna get it, right? That's why we in the position that we're in now, but it's not over. So I, advise this, mayor, if you can, get, you know, with staff and see if we can perhaps get a bus to go down there and see if we start now, I think we'll have enough people to go down there and really rally and do something that'll be special. And perhaps we can probably get the museum. So, that's just my suggestion. And also, my last thing is, Juneteenth, which is a very important time of the month, right? We even had a discussion about Juneteenth, which is kind of, troublesome to me. And I think it's problematic because we haven't had a discussion about it. We haven't had a workshop about it, even though I know it's another entity within the town that does it. But what are we doing for Juneteenth?
Councilman, if I may.
Yes.
We did, I want to say it was the last meeting in May, we did a workshop with, Ms. Candace and Ms. Tiffany Simmons. And Councilman talked about the layout. I can get you a copy of the layout as well. They had some that night, but I'll get you the electronic copies. But there are events planned the full week of Juneteenth. including, we were gonna do a proclamation day here, but Councilwoman, Randolph asked to move it to the event that's going to be with.
Where's it gonna be located at?
There are several events. There's gonna be a fishing day. I don't have it all in front of me, but I can get you all of them. There'll also be an event over at the Humboldt property, where we'll do some things there as well, so.
Where everything's gonna be in?
Everything's gonna tend to be.
Okay.
for that.
They have a gala, they have all that stuff.
They have the gala as well, so I can send you I'll make sure it gets out in your repackage so you all can just see those dates, but it's been planned out, it's been reviewed, we have the memorandum. For the services that the town wants to support with that, as well as we've had meetings. I believe it was a meeting today, Valerie, right? I believe there was a meeting today with them on the next levels, but I'll make sure you get a copy of it.
Can you get a table for the gala?
I'm sorry,
Can you get a table for the gala?
we normally do, I'll confirm that, that's.
Well, with that being said, that's my report, and I thank you guys for coming out. Have a blessed night.
Yes, sir.
Councilwoman.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, I have a couple of things here. I don't think this may not take 3 minutes. First of all, I'd like to address, the mayor, report on the 3 minutes. I think that's very unfairly to council members because we deal with things on a day-by-day basis. We have, residents that calls us about different items. We have different things that we have to look into, investigate, look up, discussion, and then when we get to the meeting, we have all the items that we have. And I just think that's just a very fair, unfair assessment, to put a time limit on council members. Next, I would like to get more clarification about a code, SS code here for the building. Is that just for council members or for everyone?
Oh, just for council members.
Council members, we have to put in an SS code to come into to our own governmental building. Do you think that's right?
Well, you don't need a code to come to the building.
No. What I'm saying
No,
is
you
this.
don't need a code to come into the building, Councilwoman. You need a code going to the staff. And
And
there is
what's the
no
purpose of that?
time. I did not say time limit to sitting with staff. I said to schedule, which is what you already do.
You can't make your own rules.
Okay, first of all, let me just finish. This is my report. It's my report. You've had your time. I would like for you to put that in writing to all the council members about us having a code to come into have access.
I just said it. It's gonna be
Okay,
right in the
no,
minute.
you don't have to say, I want you to put it in
It
writing.
will be right in a minute. That will be on it.
Okay, next, you mentioned about public records. And I'm letting everyone know, since the mayor has already addressed this issue, I want people to be clear. I requested public records. I have done this before. Okay, I am a responsible council member. And I believe in doing things the right way. Now, since the mayor wants to open this up, I'll go there. Okay, number one is this, the employees here have not had an evaluation. That's an administrative deficiency that we have in our government. And we wonder why is it to the point that our employees seems to be very inefficient at certain things. How can you evaluate someone or give someone a raise or rating if they've not had an evaluation from their supervisor? I pulled files on 9 people. The reason why I'm saying this to everyone, because I know how information sometimes is not the correct information. And I don't want anyone to feel or think that I did something wrong because I did not do anything wrong. The mayor is advocating to go through Mr. Preston. Mr. Preston was not here. He was in a class. I sat with the HR director of the town of Eatonville. If it was something that I had done wrong and I asked her, I need you to sit here with me so I can go over these particular files. She sat there, she looked at them. I made copies of 3 things that was in some of the employees' files, and that was based upon some other action that was taken against those employees. As an official, I have the right to know what is going on in this town, and I have the right to know of any problems with staff. I have the right to know that. And what I do with the information is for my own information. I didn't do that to try to speak anybody's name. I did it for my own reason, for my own cause. and I have a right as an official to do that. She cannot stop me. The mayor cannot stop me from looking at a personnel file. As long as I'm not getting private information such as social security numbers, medical information, etc., when it comes to disciplinary action, attendance, whatever, work hours, anything, any reports that we get from law enforcement, anything like that, background checks, I have privilege to that. And I asked the HR director, is there anything else that you like to make copies of that I have? Make a copy of it, so that way you have a copy of it, okay? And that is exactly what happened. And I'm not taking anything back. I'm not bringing anything back. Those are my records. Those are my records. In addition to that, I've also requested a public records request of the same thing that I got from her office. All right, so I just want everybody to know exactly what's going on, because it's two sides to every story. Okay, I did raise my voice. I was not out of control. She asked me to leave the office. I'm spelling it out so you all will know. And I know that's the reason why she's wanted me to go last tonight, so she can rebuttal based upon what I'm telling you. Okay, so I know the tricks of the game. All right, I did not say anything other than don't yell at me. Okay, and that's the way it was. And she asked me to leave the administration's office. So that's the reason why council members are being barred from coming in the administration area, because she doesn't want us over there. So in other words, I asked, are you kicking me out of the building? She said, no, I'm not kicking you out of the building, but I'm asking you to leave. Okay, leave the administration. And I came out and I went next door. So I just want you guys, not guys, I'm sorry. I want you all as residents and the public to know. And as far as those records that I have, if anybody wants to request anything, you can do that on your own. And I can name those employees that I received information on. Do I care to do that? No. If I have to, I will, to defend myself. I most certainly will. And I'm quite sure if I did, the media will be here tonight. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. And you all, but first of all, that was number one. That was number one. Hold on 1 second. Okay, the next thing here is this. Summer is here. We have basketball equipment and goals on the street. We want to make sure, Mr. Preston, that something is done as far as bringing this matter to the citizens and residents' attention about those basketball goals. They need to lay them down and take them off the streets. They're sticking out in the road. Also, I want to mention that we do need to do something, Mr. Preston. We're doing things such as beautification. We're doing all these fantastic things around the town. We got the pool. Why can't we get code enforcement to do what they're supposed to do? I'm looking at the same thing day in and day out. The residents are looking at the same thing day in and day out, even ever since I've been on the council, and nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. When is this all going to change? You know, when is it that we're going to be more accountable to get into our automobiles and ride down every street and see something that is wrong? I still have that oily, ugly, nasty look on Bethune Drive. And nothing has been done about it. Mrs. Monday, she came down and, you know, they sent someone from Macon. But I had asked you last week, Mr. Preston, I need you to come down on the street so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We have automobile tires on the front street. You know, that has not been resolved. We have tires through the community in front of people's houses. Junk cars all in the road, and cars in front of people's yards. One house got 6, 7 cars in the front yard. You know, when is that going to happen? Junk. Why is it that we have to label ourselves as are we junk people? I said, no, we people with decency. And that's the way that we should keep our communities, everyone, nice and clean. You want your community to look just like what we said with the other people. We want to be like the other people, okay? We don't want to be like those people. We want to be clean and have decent communities and decent neighborhoods, all right? I know I've gone over my 3 minutes, and I'm not gonna shut up until it's time for me to quit. I think it's almost time for me to. Nice cleanup over the weekend, a couple of places were missed. I think next time we probably, I don't know if the residents just put it out for me, but it still looks a lot of trash and stuff that's still out on the side of the road that did not get picked up. And some residents said that they did not get a flyer. So I don't know how we're gonna balance that out next time we get ready to have this. Thank you all very much, and God bless each and every one of you all. Be safe. Thank you.
I just had a quick question, that's all. This is for legal. I know I went to quite a bit of ethic classes years. Now, is this something, the question is this something that she can do from a mayor point of view with locking the let us say the body out?
Usually it depends on the policies and procedures of the municipalities. I have some municipalities that don't allow council members in the back or into offices. Others do allow that. So it's just a matter of what the policy.
So it's gotta be within the grounds of the charter, correct?
It's usually.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm pretty sure she's vetted,
For the policy.
so she vetted this, I'm sure, right? So she
I don't know about this
for her to make these,
particular situation, but.
for her to make these rules, she had to, I'm assuming that she's vetted. And she's put everything in place and writing and documented that, hey, this is the rules now. I don't know, but if you can, like Councilwoman said, if you can show me that, cause I really don't want to back like that anyway. But if you can show me that, that'd be great. And I know you are over the administrator side of it, but I've never, like, in all my years of going to ethics class, I've never heard of anything like that. That's just my, I've never heard of anything like that.
For chapter 112, I think dual office holding, that's one thing that, she probably talked about. On the dual office holding, you can't do certain things as elected official. I mean, the protocol is you go to the CEO for, if you want to talk to Public Works, you go to the CEO and say, I'll have a meeting with Public Works. So it is dual office holding if you going to heads and dictating or whatever, making them do things. It is in the chapter. And on the sharing information, public information, as long as she get it for herself and not sharing it with the public, or get it for someone, she can't be liable for it. She get that paper to anyone else because she author of that paper. So if somebody else out there have that public personnel file, she violated for the sunshine. So as long as she keeping her person, it's fine. But yeah, it is part of chapter 112 that dual office holding, we can't do certain things.
But I'm
just saying though, some of the things by administration.
Illegal.
But this is for chapter 112. It's a
That's
new
one
book.
question that I had.
I'm not about policy, that's administration.
That's the only problem I had.
That's up to
But every
administration.
time I have a meeting, I call or email.
But I'm just saying, that's an administration. They run day to day, with personnel in, because we want to hire several people. I don't question who get recommended or unless it's something I vote for the attorney, CEO, but Public Works, recreation director, I don't worry about those things. So that's administration job there. That's all I'm trying to let us know. That sometimes we stuck in.
Absolutely, I'm aware of that, but the only concern I have is not being able to, like I said, there's nothing within these walls that I want unless I want to speak with the CEO or Ms. Monday, who's the director of public work. These are very important mechanisms, within the town. Like, how are you gonna sit here and say that we can't, speak to certain people when we need to speak to them, especially when we got access to the doors. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times we ain't got time to be sitting here emailing people. If you got access, hey, I go up front do I ever go up front before I meet with you or anyone? I always go because I protocol. Hey, listen, can you let Mr. President know that I'm here? And I sit politely in the lounge and wait. I don't go to the back, and anybody can attest to that. They've seen me come through here as far as staff member, but I still don't feel like we need to be put in a situation to where we're feeling somewhat uncomfortable with coming into a body of government that we essentially really control. Like, how are you gonna sit here and limit to limit us on what we can do in terms of going behind these walls. That's unfair. You know what I'm saying? And I know people get frustrated at times. It happens, but you can't wear your feeling on the sleeve because you're feeling a certain way one day and want to make rules that could potentially hurt this town. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not allowed to speak with certain people when you need to speak to them, how am I going to do my job? I got a job to do. I don't work for you. I work for the people. That's who selected me. Well, that's who elected me to sit up here. I wasn't selected. I was elected to sit up here and do the will of the people. But I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth about it. But I think it's wrong for you to even make these comments. And hopefully it's not an unethical situation that you publicly put out here, even though the legal is telling me, you know, that it's something that can be done, especially if it's not written down. These are just words that are coming out of your mouth. I don't see anything that's factual saying, hey, these are the facts right here that you gotta follow about. You can't sit here and come in this meeting and say that we can't do certain things, especially as an elected official and people that run this town. It's just unfair. That's all I got to say.
Like I said, when I first started, I said it's unpleasant. However, for me to get to this point, you also have to wonder what got me to this point. It's been 2 years. And I don't know if you were on.
I've only been here 2 months.
I mean, but way back, I had already mentioned, I'd already asked, please go through the CAO when you want to meet. I had already asked, and it's being ignored. And the idea of you calling this, that's not an issue at all. And I never said to limit your time with staff, although that should be limited too, but I never said that. What I said was to be cognizant of time. And no one here can say we should not be cognizant of people's time. And if you've been reading the room in the last 2 minutes, people have actually just left. I know what you're saying, but if you go back and you listen to the reports, some of it's just looping. That information is just looping. All I'm asking is to just be focused on what you're saying. Let's say it. I'm not asking you not to say whatever. Wait, but let me finish. And I'm not. I said, if there is nothing wrong with a time limit, we've seen it on agendas. We've seen it. And we do need to keep these meetings moving. We do. And no one here can argue that point. But if I get to the point that I'm asking someone to leave an office,
That's disrespectful.
that I'm asking or that I needed to ask. Because the email did not go to Mr. Presley. The email went to the staff member. I'm going to be there at a certain time. Please be available to review. That's giving direction. Go to the charter. And if I continue to let it happen, it gets worse, which is where we are now. And as a leader, it's going to be unpleasant sometimes. Will you never have the code? No, but I think what it needs to do is muscle memory, change the muscle memory. It is okay to let someone know, hey, I need to meet with so-and-so. It's okay to go through Mr. President and say, I need to meet with so-and-so. I've never said you can't do that. That is doing your job.
But the perception that you're giving is giving you that. And I want to go back and forth.
And I said, so that I'm not accused of being biased. It's the same for everyone. That's what I said. So I'm not accused of saying, well, how come they have the code and I don't have?
But
that is my point. So I know it's not pleasant, but for me to get to this point, as you got to understand there's another side to it.
And I get what you're saying, but my thing that I'm getting is what you're saying, right? That's why that's legal. Now, legal is not always right either. And no disrespect to you. You understand me? I just take your suggestion. That don't mean you're right, right? Nobody's perfect. I just take your suggestion, trusting that you're gonna tell me facts that I need to know as a council member when things like this is occurring. You know what I'm saying? Because in all my time, right, of sitting up here on this panel, I've never experienced anything like this with a mayor, a strong governing mayor, telling a legislative body that they're not able to meet with certain individuals They're a staff member.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm
Listen,
They're gonna speak.
go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, I don't wanna prolong this no more than it is, man, but I think it's just, it's inappropriate behavior, man. You know what I'm saying? It's inappropriate behavior that we're dealing with right now.
Hold on. Interfering day-to-day administration is a problem. That's all it is. Set to appointments up with the CEO. That's what she's saying. That's it. Interfering with day-to-day is the issue. And that's policy. We don't interfere with day-to-day.
But that could have been done differently.
But I'm just saying, I'm just putting it in better words for you. Interference to day-to-day
Because
administration.
everybody doesn't resort to that. You know
But
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying, if you,
There's that one individual probably, I don't know who it is, but listen.
he just told who it is.
But just in a nutshell, I just don't think, there's any, there's nothing good about it. Because what it does is it create a narrative of, what's going on in the town of Bentonville, like it's always been. We can't never accomplish anything without sitting up here looking like a bunch of idiots sometimes, right?
Speak, please.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying. I ain't speaking for everybody, I'm just speaking in general. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody because I wasn't referring to you guys. I'm just saying in general, like, we can't continue to sit up here and not get things done. We got more important things to do, to worry about is somebody meeting with a administrator who we need to meet with anyway. But anyway, let's get out here. This time.
I disagree.
It's winding down.
Yes,
This
Mr.
Vice Mayor, I'm sorry, our clerk had an update.
Oh,
Okay.
can I skip over? I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to.
They kind of jumped in.
Yeah. For the record, I wanted to go back and circle back around with the Juneteenth. I do have flyers that are available for distribution. And the scheduled events start June 14th through June 19th. There's something scheduled each day. 1887 Juneteenth Celebration Week. So I'll make sure you get a flyer tonight. We have extra ones here if members of the community would like to grab them. Also, the presentation from the workshop specific to the fees that has also been provided to you as well. The ask for a copy of that, so I want to provide it. Then a quick update for those who may not know, TextMyGov have officially launched as of June 3rd. We do have an information page on the website. I encourage everyone to text Eatonville to this number 91896. What that does is add you to the distribution to the TextMyGov. It's a two-way interaction to communicate with your government. You can also report issues, find answers, get in touch with members of the staff, get 24/7 assistance through our TextMyGov. It's a good way to stay in touch. One of the things that the council wanted was to research some vital communication tools to ensure that we improve our communications between the government and the residents, and we've done that. So definitely want you to connect with TextMyGov. You can also text issues, observations, and anything that you would like to report. You can report that to 407-995-TEXT, and that will put you right here at the administration, right at your fingertips. For those who don't have text messaging, don't use a mobile phone or website, we do have an information phone line. You can call us at 407-623-8916. And we keep that information line updated so you can be informed about things that's going on here at the town of Eatonville. Worst case scenario, you can always call the clerk's office and I will redirect you to the right person.
Thank you.
So thank you.
All right, that being it's 8:29, I move for adjournment. It's been moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. We are adjourned.
That's why you're.
See you next time.
Remember last year when we did the GOT, the little.
Into distribution, so when we send out notifications, you get.
Good luck.
Thank you.